What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nana, TheLockdNurse. If this is your first time here, just go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I'm going to be putting out videos about natural hair and locks and also about the career of nursing. So you don't want to miss any of those videos. So go ahead and just hit subscribe so you know when I post and you can get all this wonderful information. Okay? So you have decided today that you are going to get Sisterlocks or microlocs. Well, let me be the first to say congratulations. You have taken the first step towards true hair freedom. Yes, it is the best. I have been in this journey for almost 14 months and I have enjoyed every minute of it. And I am so glad that you're going to be going on this journey also, because it is the best and it's true hair freedom. This video is going to be about things that you should know and expect, and things that you should do also before you go ahead and get Sisterlocks or microlocs installed. Now, I have Sisterlocks, so I'm going kind of off of my experience of getting Sisterlocks, but I know that microlocs, the process is not that different. And if you want to check my other video, I'm going to put the link at the end. I'm going to that video talks about kind of like the differences and similarities between Sisterlocks and microlocs. So check that video out. That should give you a little bit more information. But this video is based on Sisterlocks mainly, but microlocs not that different. The first thing that you should do is you should go on the Sisterlock website to find a loctician that's in your area. And also, it's kind of important to make sure that there are consultants in your area, because after you get them installed, you're going to have to go for maintenance every 4 to 6 weeks or so. And you have to make sure that there are consultants in your area and you're not gonna have to travel too far. If people are okay traveling far, but if you're not, that's really something to consider. If you're getting microlocs, I believe that if you just kind of Google microloc consultant in your area, you should be able to find some. Another really good thing that you should do is to go on Facebook and join a lot of Sisterlocks and microloc groups. There's tons of consultants and locticians on there, both Sisterlocks and microloc locticians, and they can, if you kind of, just post in there and just say, I'm looking for a consultant in so-and-so area. People are so willing to give you all the information that you need. I'm part of a ton of Facebook groups for Sisterlocks and microlocs, and everybody's super supportive and super helpful with the information. So that's one big thing that you should do first when you get your before you start and get your consultation. After you find a loctician, then you're going to go ahead and schedule a consultation. Now, consultations are not free. I remember mine cost me $50, but you got to keep in mind also that that price is deducted out of the full price if you decide to go ahead and get installed by this consultant. And so, my full price was minus $50 because I had spent the $50 for the consultation. So you go on your consultation. I remember my loctician, basically she sat me down. She was super nice. She asked me kind of like what my life habits were, what my hair habits were, what I wanted my hair to look like. Did I like the chunky twists, the chunky locks, or did I kind of want smaller locks? And I wanted smaller locks. I didn't really like the big lock look. And so she kind of talked me through that and got an idea of what I wanted my hair to look like. She did measure my hair, kind of the length, because the price depends on that, and also kind of check my density, and then kind of all of that in combination with how small I wanted my locks. She was able to give me a quote, and then from then on, obviously, then you decide whether you want to go ahead or not. Now, I've heard that a lot of people like to do consultations with a bunch of people, because sometimes you go to that first person and you don't vibe with them, you don't really like them, and so you can go somewhere else and get another consult. Just remember, keep in mind, they're not free. Each one is going to charge you some money in order to sit down and talk with you and figure out what you want. So same thing with microlocs. As far as I know, you still have to go to a consultation and do all of those things so that they can have an idea and be able to give you pricing and tell you a little bit more about locks and the upkeep and what you're supposed to be doing and what you do in the first year and how long it takes, and you kind of like all the kind of the vital information that you need to know before you go ahead and get installed. In my consultation, my loctician actually scheduled another appointment before my installation to put in test locks. And that's basically, she put in maybe like 4 or 5 locks like in the back here somewhere, and they're like they use different patterns for the interlocking, and so she put 4 or 5 different patterns back there, and then she asked me to vigorously wash my hair at least twice before I came in for my installation, which we also scheduled at that appointment. But she told me to really wash my hair really hard, and when I went back in for my install, she checked the test locks, and figure out which pattern kind of like withstood the washing the best, and that's what she went ahead and installed in my hair. As I know, that TESLOCK thing is mostly a Sisterlock kind of thing. I don't know that microloc consultants would really do this, but for Sisterlocks, most likely you will have TESLOCks installed, and that's just to kind of have them find out what the best pattern is for your hair. Installation day. So that was scheduled at the consultation, and installation day is, is rough. Okay, it's definitely most of the time anyway, at least for me, mine was 2 days. The first day I probably was there for about 17 hours, and the second day was about 5 hours. So what's that, 22 hours or so? But mine are really small. It also depends on the length of your hair. I started with about 6 inches, so it depends on the length of your hair. It depends on how small you like them. So it depends. It depends. But, at least budget 2 days in order to have your installation done. It's a long day. Bring books, bring your phone, bring your tablet, bring work. They usually have Wi-Fi at these places because they know that you need to be doing stuff while you're there. So bring everything that you need to bring to keep you occupied, so that you're not going out of your mind just sitting there. But it's long, and but it's worth it. Now, after your install is done, your next appointment should be probably in about 4 weeks after your install, and that's going to be your first retightening or your first retie. And that's when kind of they go in and look at the new growth and retighten it and make it so that your roots are tight and we're keeping up with the interlocking of the entire strand or the entire strand of hair. And this is what we call the maintenance. So it really depends, every 4 to 8 weeks or so, you're going to be going back and your loctician's going to be retying your hair. Very, very, very important that you keep up with this maintenance, especially in that first year before your hair locks, because you're going to be, especially around the perimeter, around the edges, the back and the front, you're going to be experiencing lots of slippage. And what that is basically the locks just kind of come undone because the hair around there is softer, more fragile, shorter, and so the hair around there starts to unravel. And it's very important that you really keep up with the maintenance so that we can keep that going and so that the hair locks as quickly as possible. The hair, it really depends on how quick it takes to lock. I always thought I had 4C hair, but I don't think that I do. My loctician said that I didn't. My hair still hasn't locked. It's been 14 months, and if you look at it really close, you can't see it really well, but if you look at it really close, you can see that my hair has not locked. You can still see kind of the interlocking pattern in it, and you're not supposed to see that. You're supposed to see a matted piece of hair, and my hair still hasn't done it. It's been 14 months, so I'm still waiting patiently for it to lock. So that's also something that you need to keep in mind. Your hair is not going to lock right. Mine may not lock right away. It may take a year plus. It may take 2 years. It may take even longer than that. So just remember that that's a possibility. Like I said, the retightening is every 4 to 6 weeks. Just keep up with it. The first, at least for me, and for most Sisterlocks and consultants, as far as I know, the first retightening and wash, which was obviously together, were also included in that total price. So that's also something that my loctician did. I don't know if every loctician does that, but keep in mind that that's also a possibility. I've heard so many different things about using moisturizer, things that moisturize for your hair, and when it comes to locks, Sisterlocks and microlocs. I've heard some consultants say absolutely no oils, no moisturizer, nothing in your hair, especially within that first year before your hair locks. And the same thing, I've heard a lot of microloc consultants say that also, but then I've also heard a lot of them say, oh, you can moisturize your scalp, oil your scalp. different, like use different things, rose water or water, you know, tea tree oil, castor oil, a bunch of different things. Just go by what your consultant says. My consultant said absolutely, absolutely, absolutely nothing. Don't use anything. You'll start to see slippage and things will start to unravel. So don't use anything. And I listened to her, and I think that that has helped me keep most of my perimeter mostly locked in between my reties, and so that's helped my hair around the perimeter at least kind of start to lock. So there's a few over here that look like they're starting to lock a little bit, and I think that's probably why, that's the reason for that is because I listened to what my loctician said, mostly about the moisturizer. Now I've passed my 1 year mark, so I've started to kind of spray it with a little bit of rose water, which helps to kind of moisturize, makes it shiny, helps my scalp. My scalp was always really dry before I got locks, but for some reason it's just not as dry anymore. I used to have dandruff and everything, and even now that I don't use anything on my scalp, I don't have any dandruff. I don't have any dryness. It's so strange. I think the less manipulation and the less stress you put on your hair, like the less issues your hair has and your scalp too. And so I really have seen that since I've gotten Sisterlocks. I've had to do so little for my hair and my scalp, and my hair is thriving, my scalp is fine, and so obviously I'm a big fan. Now, I had mentioned before that my loctician washed my hair every time I went there for my reties. Now, not every loctician does that, so apparently some locticians say wash your hair before you come, but just remember, before you wash your hair, you have to braid and band your hair, because again, it's going to cause slippage. That water, that moisture causes the hair to unravel. So braiding and banding is something that you need to learn about. I'm going to post a picture on that, just so you see what it looks like. And your shampooing should be like gentle, you know, not too vigorous, so stuff doesn't come undone. Once your hair is locked, do whatever you want once your hair is locked, but before it locks, you have to braid and band, or else you're going to see a lot of slippage. Now, last but definitely not the least, about Sisterlocks and microlocs. You may not love it in the beginning. Within that first few months, few weeks or so, you may be like, what have I done? And the reason for that is just because once you first get it done, it's very scalpy. You can see the scalp, and the locks are very skinny and very stringy even sometimes, and they just don't look full or healthy. But like we always say, it's a journey, and it will get better, I promise you. The hair starts to lock, it starts to thicken and kind of all come together, and then you don't see your scalp as much, except when you go for your reties. You'll see maybe your scalp a little bit, but it'll start to just look so full, and it'll start to really retain length. And once you see the length, that's the other thing too, you're going to experience a lot of shrinkage. You may not, but most of us have experienced a lot of shrinkage, and you're going to say, I don't even see, my hair is not even growing. It's not even do anything. Nothing is changing. But what I also recommend is take pictures. Take lots of pictures every month, maybe even every week. You should take a picture of your hair. And as the weeks go along, and you keep looking, you'll see, oh man, my hair has changed so much. It's grown so much. I'm so glad that I took pictures. I wish I'd taken more video, but I just didn't. But if you take pictures, you will see how much your hair has grown within maybe even the first couple of weeks, not even months. Hang in there, sis. It's going to be okay. You may not love it in the beginning, but I promise you will love it eventually. And like we say, it's a journey, and you gotta spend a little bit of time before you get to that place that you want to be. But those are all the things that I could think about, that I could tell you about. If there's anything at all, any other questions that you guys have, I'll be happy to answer them. I love my Sisterlocks. I've been going around telling like every natural woman that I can tell that you should get Sisterlocks, because it is the best way to just wear your hair and not have to worry about things. I have bought minimal hair products. I use minimal hair products, and so I get up, I shake my head, I go, I spray with a little bit of rose water, I'm ready to go. And so again, that that I feel to me is a money saver. And I'm gonna do another video on kind of like the costs and things, and whether or not it's cost efficient or cost inefficient. For me, it was cost efficient, and the fact that I could just get up and go and my hair always looked good, to me was priceless. Or maybe, you know, I could possibly still put a price on it, but the price was a price that I was willing to pay, if you know what I mean. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Go ahead and hit subscribe, because I'm going to be putting out a lot more videos and that I hope are informative to you. And hit the notification bell. Like this video, comment, ask me questions. I would love to hear from you guys and answer any questions that you may have. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Goodbye.